Like I said, I just came back from Harlem. The citizens' grand jury, like I said, found Colombia perpetrated fraud on the American people by giving a degree to Barack Obama. It's been determined that he did not attend Columbia University. Now, Columbia University, I want you to remember, this is where Ahmadinejad was invited and spoke there. It's also where Khalid Rashidi is a professor there. The investigators found that there was no proof. They went through every public record in the Bradley Library where he said that he spent all of his time. Nobody ever saw him there. Fox News did an interview of 400 people who didn't ever see him there. And anyway, if he wasn't in Colombia, where was he? Well, a private investigator, investigative journalist actually, went to Pakistan to find the answer to the question, what passport did he travel on? Everybody knows for a fact he was in Pakistan in at least 1981, and even in his book he says that he went there. But what passport did he travel under? Well, if you go to the passport office where people go in and out of that country, his name is down there several times with Kenya in parentheses. So there's the proof that he actually traveled on a Kenyan passport. He was recruited by the CIA when he was at Occidental College. His mother did work for a company called Asia Development Bank, which is a front for the CIA. She lived at the Hilton. Somebody paid her expenses while she lived in the Hilton for 5 years. Her grandmother in Hawaii is the vice president of Bank of Hawaii. These are all operatives through the CIA, where we know for a fact that the United States funded the Mujahideen with guns and money to fight against the Russian invasion. We all know that this is all fact. So when you think about it, when you're looking for a young loner that speaks Arabic and has a Muslim background, that is the kind of person that you want to recruit to do this job for the government. In essence, we can perhaps applaud him for working for the government. However, there's fraud perpetrated by Nancy Pelosi by getting him on the presidential ticket. So Ken Cuccinelli, who I mentioned earlier in Virginia, excuse me, I just want to finish this one thing, is going to be looking into bringing charges against Nancy Pelosi for the fraud by putting him on the DNC ballot. Thank you.
It's almost unfair to ask this entire group, because while we may have answered quite a few questions, I'll guarantee you there's no way that you know enough about us, that what you should know. And please check our websites, check our backgrounds. You can Google, you can do all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I've been writing for conservative, I guess, publications, WorldNet Daily, American Daily Review, Canada Free Press for almost 2 years now. I've written for other publications well before that. I have lived, worked, and traveled extensively around the globe. I was in the Congo, living in the Congo in 91 when it was still a Marxist-Leninist regime. I was in South Africa before Mandela was released and after as well. I lived there. I lived in West Africa. I lived in Indonesia. I was a young child in Indonesia. I had adult Indonesians. I heard the term anjing American many times. American dog. At 11 and 12 years old. I told you earlier that I was a product of the Reagan Revolution. He had a profound effect on my life. I catch a lot of flack sometimes because people say, you're very angry. And yes, I am angry. I am mad that I have let this country go the direction that it is and have not stepped up sooner. But I think each and every one of you has an arbitrary line in the sand of what you will accept from your federal government. And as Americans, we have finally, as the lady said about it over a year ago, they have awakened the giant. I was awakened before then. But I am running, not because this was a decision that I made or that my wife and I made together, which it was after I was asked. I am the only candidate. Pay attention to that, please, because it's very important. Senator Coburn thought it was very important. I was asked to run, not just by friends and family, not just by citizens of Hugo or Choctaw County or Oklahoma, those as well, but from citizens across the state, in Kentucky, in the state of Washington. I feel compelled to run. One of my volunteers who came on board, he said, Howard, he said, I've checked out all of the candidates. And he said, I can only describe you as credible and authentic to District 2. I have a passion in my heart to do what is right, and that is listen to the will and the voice of the people. And that's all that I want to do. Thank you very much, and God bless America.
I would like to thank each of you for taking time out of your lives to run for office on the Republican ticket. And I hope that one of you is sitting in the seat that Dan Boren is sitting in right now come November. I would like to introduce Oklahoma's chairman of the Republican Party, Gary Jones, to do our closing statements.